solution. CPDs will disclose that the killed kingpin was responsible for the death of the paramount ruler in the area in February this year, amongst 9 notable names murdered by his gang. He commended operatives of the Ahoda Area Command and Division for their dedication and commitment to the fight against crime and criminality and urged them not to rest on their laurels. Meanwhile, a mammoth crowd of natives of both Ahoda East and West local government areas trooped out to cheer the Commissioner of Police and his team on the feats achieved. Speaking to newsmen, the chairman of Ahoda East local government area, Ben A.K., expressed happiness, saying even if he is from Ahoda West and killed in Ahoda West, the criminality will reduce in my local government area. Similarly, Seji Beniza, paramount ruler of Owube community, where the cult leader hailed from, said the community is so excited. The young man has been terrorizing the community. He is a serial killer, kidnapper, and notorious cultist. Moving on, the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Chief Nyesom Wike, has explained severe reasons why politicians do not excel for the better in their political career. This was disclosed during a Thanksgiving event marking the 58th birthday and electoral victories of the minority leader of the House of Representatives, Honorable Ogundu Kingsley Chinda, in Port Harcourt. The FCT minister pointed out that politicians must ensure absolute loyalty and accountability in the discharge of their duties. He further identified the younger generation of politicians that lack the character of service, and they are most ungrateful in pretense and insubordination to legal process and constituted authority. Speaking on the occasion, Nyesom Wike urged politicians to be, especially in Rivers State.
One of the very best. Forget those fake Igbo people who were running around saying that they want to be governor. They cannot serve master and boy. Yes. But they are waiting on the road now to serve boy. Yes, sir. No really Igbo man says that and goes back. Yes, sir. No really Igbo will tell you, you will vomit and take back. That cannot be an Igbo man. And that cannot be a reverse. Chinda have told you, do not bother yourself. In the Igbo tradition, when you start beating the drum of wrestling, it is not that time the real wrestlers will come out. Do you understand me? The real wrestlers will come in later, towards the end. That's where you see the real wrestlers.
On the FCT minister further advised young politicians, including youths across the states, to be more committed in their support.
I pity the boys, young boys who were shouting before. Now these are people who have gone to take their positions. They can never stay one place. When I wanted to become governor, 2014, 2015, the same people fought me that nothing they didn't do to get the ticket. They couldn't get it.
Don't forget, there's more news, but don't forget to connect with us on our social media handles, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, and watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Moving on, a middle-aged man, Kenneth Wango, has been sentenced to 10 years imprisonment by the Children, Sexual and Gender-Based Violence Court sitting in the High Court Complex Awka in Anambra State for defiling his 9-year-old daughter and only child. The judgment was delivered in a 3-count charge brought against the defendant by state government following compelling evidence proving him guilty as charged. He was consequently sentenced to 7 years imprisonment on the count with a 9-year-old, an offense punishable under Section 34 of the Child Rights Law of Anambra State of Nigeria 2004. The court also sentenced the defendant to 2 years for the timely intervention in the political crisis that erupted in the state a few months ago. He noted that we are here also to tell him, that's Tinubu, that as far as we are concerned, those of us around amongst our members and those that are on their way, that we are fully in support of the continuity of the APC-led government. We are in support of continuity. We want APC to continue to win the governments of Ondo State. We believe it will work out, and we are giving them 100% assurance that the primary elections will be peaceful. While fielding questions from moving on, Ugochukwu emphasized the need for incumbent government to refrain from political gag against opposition parties using state powers.
Prior to election, the government tends to use the government apparatus to gag the opposition, to quieten the opposition. You know, when you saw the former governor of Rivers State began to enact some obnoxious laws and making some executive pronouncements, you know, gearing towards gagging the opposition and other political parties that he feels will be a threat to his party's political aspiration. We saw it play out here in Rivers State. So what is happening in Ondo State, I'm not surprised about it, because this is the drama that goes on in Nigeria.
The leadership of the Amoteku Corps in Osun State on Monday said it has handed over to the National Agency for Prohibition on Trafficking in Persons a commercial driver, Taofik Oyekola, age 26, arrested for allegedly using a magic ring to lure a teenager to his residence in Oshobo, where he allegedly attempted to rape her. A statement by the Corps spokesperson, Idowu Yusuf, said that the 15-year-old girl boarded an intra-city minibus of Oyekola at Oja Oba and Oshobo going towards Ilesha garage area on Saturday when the driver used the voodoo ring. Shortly after the driver used the ring to hit her, she lost her senses and was obeying almost every instruction Oyekola was giving her. The statement partly read, the victim was the only passenger at the time, and the suspect brought out a ring and wore it on his finger and touched the victim, which made the victim lose her memory. The suspect thereafter drove the victim to his residence at Eta Olookan in Oshobo, and on getting to his residence, Oyekola asked her to undress, but the victim refused. He then forcefully pushed the victim onto a 3-seater couch and attempted to rape her. The victim pleaded with him to let her go and that she would come back later, but the suspect did not oblige. He later brought out an axe and threatened to cut her into pieces and sell her body parts. He also brought out a concoction which he leaked and ordered the victim to go to her house and bring all her belongings to live with him. He brought out different charms and told the girl to swear to an oath that she would come back if he allowed her to leave. The driver later followed the victim to her house on a motorcycle to assist in bringing her belongings. It was when the victim got down from the motorcycle that she raised the alarm, which made the members of the Community Security Awareness Initiative come to her aid. They got the suspect arrested and handed him over to Amotekun. Commenting, the state corps commander of the Osun Amotekun, Brigadier General Bashir Adewimbi, retired, said his men took the suspects to custody on Saturday for investigation, adding that Oyekola admitted to committing the crime. He further said the suspect has been transferred to the National Agency for Prohibition on Trafficking in Persons headquarters, Oshobo, for further interrogation and prosecution. A man identified as Usman Abubakar reportedly died during a fight which occurred at Isale Koko or Jaboro area of Ilorin in the Ilorin East local government area of Kwara State. The incident, which happened last Wednesday, was a result of a fight between the deceased and another man identified as Omotosho Jimo of the Eleko Yangon area, Okesuna in Ilorin, who is now at large. According to the police, the incident stemmed from a minor issue which degenerated into a fight but later led to the death of Usman. Speaking on the incident, the state police public relations officer, Tong Ejire Adeyemi, said in a statement that the Kwara State Police Command is saddened to homicide which occurred on March the 20th, 2024 in Ilorin at about 20:30 hours on March 20, 2024. Abdebayo Ahmed, a resident of Isale Koko, reported a distressing incident involving his son, Usman Abubakar. It was reported that on the same day, around 19:30 hours, Usman engaged in a hand-to-hand combat with one Omotosho Jimo of Eleko Yonkon area, Okesuna, Ilorin, over a minor issue. Tragically, during the altercation, Usman Abubakar slumped and was rushed to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead by the medical personnel. Immediately, the scene of the crime was visited and the necessary documentation was carried out. However, the family of the deceased has declined to release the body for autopsy, insisting on burial according to Islamic rites. Presently, the suspect, Omotosho Jimo, is at large. The Kwara State Police Command has initiated a preliminary investigation into the matter, and efforts are on the way to apprehend the suspect and ascertain the full circumstances surrounding this unfortunate incident. Ejire Ademi added that the command assured the public that every effort was made to bring the perpetrators to justice. Governor Hyacinth Alia of Benue State has warned the caretaker chairman of the 23 local government areas of the state to desist from plundering the resources of their respective LGAs, as the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is closely watching them. The governor, who sounded the alarm on Monday while declaring open a two-day workshop on responsive local government leadership for effective local government administration in Benue State, warned the council chairman that his administration had zero tolerance for corruption. He informed that his administration had granted full autonomy to local governments in the state and urged chairmen to intensify efforts to improve their internally generated revenue to enable them embark on meaningful projects. He cautioned the chairmen against abandoning their duty post and relocating to Makurdi town, saying, "You must let the people feel your presence and let them know how you are working with them. You are in your local government areas to man them and not to relocate to the cities. Let the bushes and sands in your LGA know you. Be where you must be at the right time. Let even the child in the LGA know that there is a local government chairman in the LGA." The governor, who promised to pay unscheduled visits to the LGAs to get first-hand information on the performances of the council chairman, charged them to ensure transparency and accountability in the running of the LGAs. The IGRs or taxes of the LGA must not be diverted but deployed to improve the welfare of the people. You must be mindful of the presence of EFCC, who are beaming their searchlights on you if you fail to be transparent and accountable. The local governments are placed strategically to place a role in the administrative process, and this must be in tandem with our goals. See the challenges you are faced with and proffer solution. See how you can make an imprint in the local government system. You have to make the states and stakeholders and everyone involved in the states proud of you, the governor said. Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State said governors will demand a new revenue allocation formula once state police is adopted. Sule stated this in an interview on Sunday, and during an interview, and according to him, funding could be an issue for governors to pursue the adoption and implementation of state police. The calls for state police have been gaining momentum in the last few weeks, with some governors and regional socio-political groups like Afenifere or Haneze Ndibo saying it will curb the increasing spate of kidnapping, banditry, and other crimes. President Bola Tinubu and governors of the 36 states in mid-February agreed on the state police as a method to curb the escalating security challenges in the country. 16 governors have submitted their reports to the National Economic Council, expressing their support for the creation of state police and the amendment of the 1999 Constitution to allow for state police. Meanwhile, the federal government gets a total of 52.68%, and states get 26.72%, while the LGs get 20.60% of the country's monthly revenue allocated by the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, which operates under the presidency, and disbursed by the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee. And speaking on the state police, Sule said, "I went to school and grew up and went to a school in a country where it is not even state police. You have county police, which is local government police. The institution I attended, Indiana University, has Indiana University Police. So I grew up in the background of this independent police and distribution. Sometimes we just see what is happening in other countries and we just want to adopt. My concern about state police and it is not like I am against it. I am all for it, but my biggest concern about state police is funding the state police. The next thing after we adopt this state police, you will hear the state governors asking for a review of the sharing formula, and you will still have the military and other security agencies under the federal government. What we are getting right now may not be sustainable." Governor Sule said Nasarawa is one of the states yet to submit memoranda on state police to the NEC because the state is still consulting with stakeholders. He said, "We are one of the 20 states yet to submit. It's not that we are against it. It's not that we are for it. We are still in consultation." You've been tuned on to Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this very short break. Please stay tuned.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on The Fact Today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human
on the point of order.
Honorable
They are not picking our calls. They made up their mind.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back to Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network in the city of Port Harcourt. And now to the rest of our stories. Federal High Court in Abuja has scheduled May the 13th for arraignment of 4 suspects arrested in connection with the abduction of University of Abuja lecturers and their children in 2021. Gunmen on November the 2nd, 2021 invaded the senior staff quarters of the University of Abuja at the Gwagwalada area of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. They abducted no fewer than 6 lecturers, and the gunmen numbering over 20 were said to have shot their way into the compound and whisked away their victims. The kidnapped victims were Basi Ubom, including his son and daughter, Professor Joseph Adavani, Dr. Ferguson Tobins, Mohammed Sambo, Ofyong Ubom, John Obansa, and Fidelis Obansa. The kidnappers' arraignment, which was slated for Monday, could not hold because the court was on vacation. The matter, which is before Justice Donatus Okorowo, was adjourned till May the 13th. Defendants in the matter are Adamu Abubakar, Nura Muhammad Ahmadu, Ismaila Abubakar, and Abdul Rahman Ado, also known as Yellow. President Bola Tinubu on Monday approved the Renewed Hope Infrastructural Fund to bridge Nigeria's funding gap of $25 billion per year in infrastructure. The new initiative will be domiciled in the presidency. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, told journalists after Monday's Federal Executive Council meeting at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Giving further details about the development, the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Zach Adedeji, said that the fund will focus on road, rail, agriculture, ports, and aviation. He explained that the fund will be launched in a few months after the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Bagudu, prepares a supplementary budget to accommodate the new spending. Federal Executive Council have approved the construction of 28 roads and bridges across the country worth over 1.2 trillion naira. Minister of Works Dave Umahi disclosed this shortly after the FEC meeting held on Monday. He said the projects were approved by the FEC, having gone through the Bureau of Public Procurement and certificates of no objection secured. Umahi also said that the FEC approved the construction of Buruku Bridge across Katsina River in Benue State worth over 83.7 billion naira, while an approval was given for construction of 91.432 road at Saki in Oyo State worth 144 billion naira. However, the FEC approved the stepping down of the road. The military, having worked with other security agents and local vigilantes, have nonetheless shown their unwavering commitment to ensuring the safety and security of the country. The lawmaker added that the abducted are Marjorie in Gada local government areas of Sokoto State in the northwest Nigeria have also been rescued, stressing that the lofty achievements of the military show their unalloyed commitment to protecting the sanctity of the nation. The federal government has said that no ransom was paid to free the pupils who were abducted from Kuriga village in Kaduna State. This was revealed by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, during the Monday's Federal Executive Council meeting presided by President Bola Tinubu at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. The minister applauded President Tinubu, the National Security Advisor, the service chiefs, and everyone else who made a significant contribution to the kids' release. President Tinubu had vowed that he would not pay any ransom to secure the release of the abducted victims. The minister added that President Tinubu has directed the security services to step up their efforts to put an end to the nationwide kidnapping crisis. Senate President Godswill Akpabio has called on the International Parliamentary Union to lend a strong voice to the restoration of lasting peace to the war-torn Gaza. Akpabio made the call while contributing to discussions at the ongoing 148th section of the IPU Assembly holding in Geneva, Switzerland. The Senate President, according to a statement by his media office in Abuja, said it was time for nations to rise above sentiments and invoke the spirit of humanity by doing all it requires to bring the sustainable peace to the region. Some of the resolutions, according to Akpabio, should include access to humanitarian aid, restoration of normal life in Gaza, as well as meetings on a permanent truce. The Leprosy Mission Nigeria has launched its toll-free call center, TLMN Wellness Connect, to cater for the mental well-being of persons with disability who may be going through mental health issues due to stigma or any form of abuses. Launching the toll-free call center in Abuja, the National Director of Leprosy Mission Nigeria, Dr. Sunday Udo, said that the aim is to strengthen mental health of persons with disability in Nigeria. Correspondent Rotimi Dewuyi reports.
Mental health is a crucial aspect of overall well-being, a facet of healthcare that receives less attention in Nigeria, particularly with persons with disability. The Wellness Connect toll-free helpline offers confidential counseling and resource referrals by experts in mental health who offers counseling to persons with disability, providing a safe space for individuals to express their concerns and receive personal support. They provide information and referrals to relevant mental health resources like therapists, support groups, and community services to ensure comprehensive care depending on
is the support, the guiding, counseling, and the support that I have. That is even what molded me to be on a wheelchair and to stabilize me. So everybody is a mental health. So many cases of this mental issue is occurring in the rural area, but the issue is they don't know who are they going to refer. But with this, I know it will go a long way.
Stakeholders also share their experiences with stigmatization around them and how important the call center is to persons with mental health issues.
This is a good thing for us because our desire in Leprosy Mission is that we want the disabled person and the people that are mentally sick to be heard. We want to create an avenue that in the secret of their room, they can call this number and that somebody will answer. When those questions are being answered, then they will be pulled out of the challenges of life that is confronting them.
Family meeting, and my elder brother, the one I followed directly, he now, when I wanted to contribute, he said that how can a leper, that was the word he used, have a meaningful contribution to the family. So in fact, I went and buy a rice poison that if I am not useful to the family, then I did not supposed to exist. It was my mother that took it away from me, that made me to still exist today. So this issue of mental health dealt with a lot of our people, and many have gone down. So establishing a center that will tackle the issue of mental health, in fact, I'm very sure and I'm happy, and I know that it will go a long way.
17 years ago, I asked, why me? Nobody to talk to. I was in coma for 11 days, and coming out of coma on the 11th day, the doctors at National Hospital, I said I wanted to use the toilet. Oh boy, enough about again. You know, I was like, what's going on here? I'm not joking. And then the way they told me that they didn't even know, it's a long story. Not until I left the country and then started at having psychosocial, mental relief and support. I had a therapist who was coming.
And viewers, this is where we wrap it up on this edition of Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. I am Raymond Ken Mbata. Don't forget, you can still follow us up on our social connects.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable Student.
difficult country, so no agreement with the EU, but